In 2006, a bold new venture emerged from the tech environs of Silicon Valley that would upend consumer genetics forever. A new company called 23andMe, named for the 23 pairs of human chromosomes, aimed to bring the power of DNA analysis directly to the people, promised to revolutionize how we understood our personal genetic code. By simply sending in a saliva sample, customers could unlock the secrets of their DNA and gain insights into their ancestral origins and genetic traits. It was an intriguing proposition that captured public imagination. Who wouldn't want to peek under the hood of their own genome? 23andMe's innovative direct-to-consumer genetic testing service allowed millions of curious individuals to do just that, propelling the Silicon Valley startup to stratospheric heights. But this meteoric rise was not without turbulence. As the company began offering health-related genetic risk reports, it found itself under harsh scrutiny from regulators over concerns of accuracy and consumer protection. Could a company founded on principles of demystifying DNA for the masses navigate the complex web of government oversight? And as 23andMe amassed a vast trove of one of the world's most intimate data sources, human genomes, how would it safeguard privacy and protect people's deeply personal genetic information? In this video, we'll examine the rise, challenges, and transformation of a company that pushed genomics into the mainstream consciousness. Were the growing pains worth it for 23andMe and the new era of consumer genomics it ushered in? The rise of 23andMe. Founded by Anne Wojcicki, the ex-wife of Google co-founder Sergey Brin, 23andMe had an ambitious, almost audacious mission to make personal genomics accessible and understandable to the masses. The premise was simple, yet revolutionary. By purchasing an inexpensive saliva testing kit from 23andMe's website, anyone could glimpse their individual genetic code and ancestral lineage with just a few drops of spit. No doctor's visit or prescription required. What had previously been confined to specialized labs and medical facilities was now being put directly into consumer hands. Within its first few years, 23andMe found an insatiable market eager to explore this new frontier of personal genetics. 23andMe didn't just sell a product, it sold an experience. With its slick packaging and simple saliva test, the company transformed genetic exploration into something accessible and even exciting. By tapping into the public's fascination with DNA-based genealogy research and genetic predispositions, 23andMe quickly amassed a skyrocketing customer base. Millions purchased their affordable $99 testing kits, positioning 23andMe as the vanguard of the burgeoning direct-to-consumer genetic testing market, reaching a valuation of $6 billion by 2021. But the young company had even loftier ambitions to go far beyond recreational genomics and ancestry composition. 23andMe set its sights on providing comprehensive health and disease risk reports based on genetics, a goal that would thrust it into a bureaucratic battle over regulation versus innovation. The road ahead for 23andMe was about to get a lot bumpier. Regulatory challenges. By analyzing customers' genetic data, the company aimed to provide insights into individual risks for diseases like Parkinson's, late-onset Alzheimer's, and certain cancers. It was a tantalizing proposition, empowering people with the knowledge of their genetic predispositions. But this new frontier of direct-to-consumer health testing quickly caught the attention of regulators. The FDA, tasked with overseeing the safety and accuracy of medical devices, had concerns about the quality of 23andMe's health data and the potential for inaccurate results to mislead or unduly worry customers. There was significant public health risk if that information was being communicated indiscriminately to consumers, without them being able to have the proper context from a medical professional. In a stern warning letter fired off in 2013, the FDA ordered 23andMe to immediately discontinue marketing its health-related genetic risk assessments, claiming they were being sold illegally without the agency's approval or oversight. It was a harsh crackdown that threatened to derail 23andMe's core vision. Anne Wojcicki had to make a difficult choice: plow ahead against regulators and face potential shutdown, or pivot the company's strategy in order to survive. She chose the latter path. Over several years, 23andMe slowly regained regulatory clearances for a limited set of health risk reports by running additional clinical studies and tightening validation processes. However, the delays dealt a blow to the company's momentum as impatient customers and investors grew restless. The regulatory battle lines were drawn. Could 23andMe's commitment to consumer genomics withstand the barrage from watchdogs policing the boundaries of medical testing? Escalating privacy fears surrounding the company's growing genetic database were about to make that challenge even more daunting. Privacy concerns. As 23andMe's popularity soared, so did the amount of deeply personal genetic data it was amassing in its biobank, one of the largest private collections of human DNA in the world. Each saliva sample represented the unique code that made a person who they were, encrypted in their genes. For a company founded on principles of demystifying DNA and empowering consumers, ensuring the privacy and ethical use of this information was paramount. But critics and privacy advocates soon began raising red flags over 23andMe's mammoth genomic treasure trove. Questions swirled. How secure was this data? What were the boundaries around sharing or selling it? Could law enforcement use it to hunt for criminal DNA? The opaque policies fueled public skepticism as details emerged about 23andMe providing anonymized customer data to pharmaceutical companies for medical research. Alarms only grew louder from privacy watchdogs. They warned that genetic data could be de-anonymized and abused if it fell into the wrong hands. Just as 23andMe was navigating privacy backlash, a major crisis struck that brought the company's data security practices into harsh focus. In early October 2023, a sophisticated data breach occurred that exposed sensitive customer information. A hacker known only as Golem had utilized a technique called credential stuffing to gain illicit access to and leak the data of nearly 7 million 23andMe customers. It was a severe violation of the private genomic data 23andMe had premised its whole business on protecting. 23andMe raced to shut down the breach, notifying affected customers and implementing stricter security protocols like mandatory two-factor authentication. But the damage was already done. A torrent of class action lawsuits emerged, accusing 23andMe of negligence, invasion of privacy, and failing to adequately safeguard customers' most intimate data, particularly those of Jewish and Chinese descent who were allegedly targeted. 23andMe vehemently denied these claims, but its credibility took a beating. The breach represented an existential threat that called into question the core security and ethical safeguards 23andMe insisted it had in place. As lawsuits mounted and customer flight accelerated, Ann Wojcicki's pioneering vision of democratizing DNA faced its greatest challenge yet, a crisis that struck at the heart of public confidence in her company's ability to responsibly steward one of humanity's most precious resources, the human genome. As the protracted battles drained resources and cast a pall over the company's reputation, 23andMe's once skyrocketing growth began to stall. New customer acquisition plummeted, and its share of the direct-to-consumer DNA testing market rapidly eroded. As of the recording of this video, 23andMe is at risk of being delisted from the Nasdaq because its stock price has been trading below $1 per share, a stunning drop of approximately 98% since its peak share price of $17.65 in February 2021. With venture capitalists growing impatient and losses mounting, 23andMe was forced to radically rethink its entire business approach. The new strategy, leveraging 23andMe's biobank of over 10 million customer DNA samples to accelerate pharmaceutical research and drug development through lucrative industry partnerships. It was a hard pivot from its pioneering roots. While 23andMe still offers consumer DNA tests, it has transitioned to playing more of a supporting role in the personal genetics revolution it once led. As genomics and medical research evolve, the promise of 23andMe's vast DNA database could still yield important health breakthroughs. But its dream of putting personal genomes directly into every man's hands may have been loftier than reality allowed. The breathtaking rise and roller coaster descent of 23andMe holds vital lessons about the delicate interplay between innovation's cutting edge and protecting the public's welfare. So while 23andMe may be down but not yet out, or no longer the genomic trailblazer it once was, its legacy is secure as a case study on the growing perils in the age of commercialized genomics. Thanks for watching.